Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of TFU Talk, and in this video we'll be looking at analogies for the SSAT. First off, analogies are basically pairs of words that share a common relationship, or basically share a common relationship with the choices that are given in the question. So the first rule or the first tip I would like to share with you is to identify the relationship of the pair of words in the question. And good thing today, we'll be sharing with you 3 common relationships in the SSAT. So let's get right into it.
The 3 relationships we're going to be looking into is purpose, association, and degree. First, purpose is going to be the question for the purpose relationship is going to be related to one being the purpose of the other. In this case, the purpose of a painter is to paint. Now, in this question, one who performs, an action and the agent of the performer. So the one who performs the action is going to be the painter, and the agent of the performer is going to be paint. Now, this is an example of a purpose relationship. Now, let's look at some of the choices right here and see which one has the same relationship. So if you look at A doesn't show any purpose relationship at all because exam cannot be a performer. And pass is also not the purpose of an exam. So if you look here, both exam and pass are actually the agent of the performer. Let's look at B. Teacher is the school. The purpose of a teacher, even though they are associated with each other, the purpose of a teacher is not to school, it's to teach. Let's look at C. Same thing. They are associated with each other, but it doesn't show any purpose relationship. Let's look at D. Win is the gambler. Now, if you look this carefully, you can see how the performer and the agent of the performer is swapped. So gambler, the reason for gambling is to win. So the purpose of gambler is to win. That can be a possible answer. But before you jump into that, you need to look at all the choices available for you. So let's look at E. Love is to marriage. Now, love itself is associated with marriage, or basically people marry because they love each other, but it doesn't show a purpose. And matter of fact, there is no performer or any agent of the performer. So that is your answer right here is going to be D. Now, I have listed some samples of purple relationship here. So pill is the doctor. The purpose of a doctor is to give pill. Sign is to coach. The purpose of a coach is to assign or sign. Pastor is to preach. Now, if you look at 1 and 2 carefully, it might also be an association relationship, but we will look into that later. Training center is to practice, and court is to judge. These are some examples of purpose relationship. Now, let's look at the second one. Second one we're going to look into is association relationship. So how 2 things are associated with each other. So if you look here carefully, lottery is to luck. Now, if you were to associate lottery, it's related to luck. Now, if you look at the choices, student is to school. That is possible. B, doctor is to white. Yes, if you are actually referring to the white coat in which doctors usually wear, but it is quite vague. So right now, let's keep A as one of the choices and let's cut B out. C, keyboard is to language. Yes, keyboard is associated with language, but it doesn't actually show the association relationship between keyboard and language, even though keyboard is to type words or letters, but the relationship is not solid. Now let's look at D. Moon is to solar. This can be an association relationship if you either change the moon into sun, so it's going to be sun is to solar, or you change the solar into lunar, which is going to be moon is to lunar. Those ones shows association relationship. In this case, it doesn't. Let's look at the last one. Construction is to noise. Yes, there you go. We have our answer. Our answer is E, and because construction or noise is associated with construction. So why didn't we choose A? And the purpose of that is the second tip I'm going to give you in this video. Make sure every time you differentiate between human category and non-human category. So if you look at this question carefully, it is a non-human category. So make sure your answers is also a non-human category. A is a human category. Let's look at some of the examples of association relationship. First, legible is to articulate. Now, legible itself means to write, articulate means to speak. Second, woman is the skirt. And third, pen is the student, as marker is the professor. And fourth, brick is to wall. These are some examples of association relationship. Let's look at the last relationship we have right here, which is going to be degree relationship. Now, when you look at degree relationship, you need to be aware that sometimes it can also show from small to big, or sometimes it can also show from big to small. In this case, dime is to cent. Now, if you look here, dime is to cent, dime is 10 cent. So dime is bigger than cent. In other words, this question is going from big to small. So make sure that your answers also go from big to small. Now, if you look here, the obvious answer is going to be meter is the centimeter. So meter is the bigger degree compared to centimeter. B is not, because yard is a unit of measurement, and C is not, because sea and sky is totally two different things. D, phone, is the communication. This is more of a purpose relationship. And E, big, is to great. Even though big and great are synonyms, you can either say they're synonyms, but they are not degree. And the purpose of that is because when you talk about big, you're talking about tangible things. But when you're talking about great, it can also be talking about into the quality of things, right? So the answer is A. Now let's look at some of the examples in the degree relationship. First, sadness is to anguish. Anguish is a bigger degree compared to sadness. Same thing with the second one. Joy is to exaltation. Exaltation is a bigger degree compared to joy. Same thing with the third. Battle is to war. Many battles are fought in a war. 4, humorous is to hilarious. So hilarious is a higher or more very funny compared to humorous. Warm is to parched. Warm is a lower degree compared to parched. So that's it, guys. 3 relationship.
I hope those 3 relationships were useful, and don't forget, if you have any questions related to the SSAT test or English in general, make sure to let us know in the comments below. And don't forget, the 2 tips I've given to you today is basically, don't forget to identify the relationship in the question before choosing your answers. And second, don't forget to differentiate between human category and non-human category. Now, if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share to the one you care. Cheers.